Good morning and welcome to our English lesson today. And in our English lesson today, we are going to talk about antonyms, or we can call them opposites. So what is an antonym? You come across these questions in the exam, especially in question 16 and from question 16 to question 25, or sometimes they use a word in a passage, and then when you go to the questions, they tell you such and such a word was used in the passage. What is its opposite, or what is its antonym? So it is good that at least as a learner, you know a variety of opposites of words to be in what to be safe, especially when it comes to the exam. So antonyms, what are antonyms? Antonyms are words opposite in meaning. Antonyms are words opposite in meaning. For example, I can be happy now. If I'm not happy, then I'm sad. So I've come up with our antonyms are words opposite in meaning, and then I've come up with examples of antonyms, which these examples of antonyms, words and their antonyms. And this part of antonyms is not most learners know the opposite of these words. For example, it is mandatory to put on black shoes and white socks when going to school. If something is not mandatory, then it is optional. What does that mean? If something is optional, then you have a choice in it. Like you can decide to put on shoes or not to put on shoes. But when we say it is mandatory, it is a must. You must do what you are told to do. Like you have to abide by what you have been told. But when it is optional, it means you have a choice. Like you can decide if you can put on the shoes or you cannot put on the shoe. You cannot put on the shoes. We have to curse and to bless. You have curse and the opposite is bless. You can say she is a cursed one. For example, she is a cursed one. If someone is cursed, they are working under they operate under a certain devilish power or under a spell. If you are not cursed, you are blessed. And I believe everyone is blessed in their own with their own capability. To their own everybody is blessed with your talent, with whatever you have. If someone is not blessed, then we are going to say that person is cursed. It means you don't have blessings. You operate under what? Under curses. If you are not hardworking, then you are what? Then you are lazy. A person is hardworking. A person is either hardworking, or if you're not hardworking, then you are lazy. We can say Amina is a hardworking pupil. If they say Amina, give the opposite of the underlined word, and then they have given you hardworking as the opposite, hardworking as the underlined word, and they want the opposite, then you are going to say Amina is a lazy girl. Amina is a lazy girl. You have cowardice. Now, this is cowardice. Like this is cowardice, and then I have bravery. But you can find some exams where they say coward. She is a coward, which is what? A coward is what do you call it? What's the talk more about nouns? We call them an adjective, so it can be brave. The opposite of coward is brave, but the opposite of cowardice is bravery. Now, what am I trying to say? You give the opposite of a word depending on the part of speech. Depending on the part of what? Depending on the part of speech. Now, this is cowardice, we have bravery. And then this is a coward, and then we have what? Brave. We have brave. So you have coward, brave. Cowardice, bravery. You are going to give the opposite of a word depending on the part of speech they have used in the question. Because if the underlined word is cowardice, for example, they have underlined the cowardice, and then they have come to your answers. Let's say option A, they have given you brave, and then option B, they have given you bravery. Now, Brave and bravery. Which part of speech did they underline? You go and check the underlined part of speech or the underlined word. The underlined word. Once you check the underlined word, you're supposed to identify the part of speech. The part of speech. Once you identify the part of speech, then you are in a position to come up with the opposite of that given word. That given word. If the given word is a noun, you give the opposite as a noun. If the given word is an adverb, you give the opposite as an adverb. If the given word is an adjective, then you are going to give the opposite as an adjective. So cowardice is bravery, but coward is brave. He showed he showed great valor in the fight. Or you can say he showed a lot of valor in the what? In the fight or during war. Valor is the synonym of bravery. Like they mean the same. The opposite is cowardice. But if they have to use the adjective coward, then you are going in for what? For brave. You have humble. Humble yourself before the Lord, so they can raise you up. If someone is not humble, we say that person is proud. That person is what? Proud. Now, pride comes before a fall. So you have humble. You can say, despite Mkulima being a very rich farmer, he's very humble. Now they have underlined humble. So if they have underlined humble as the word in the sentence, and then they want you to give the opposite, you are going to come up with the opposite of the word humble is what? The opposite of the word humble is proud. But sometimes you realize that they give you humble, and then you go to the questions, to the answers or the options, and then you don't have proud. They have given you humble, and then you go to the questions, the answers. They have not given you proud. If you don't have proud, you might see that some answers are giving polite. So you can go in for polite, depending on the answers you've been given. They give you polite, they give you proud, you go in for proud. But if all the answers are not antonyms of the word humble, but what you've been given is polite, then you go in for polite. So you have humble. If someone is not humble, then we say the person is proud, as proud as a peacock. But if they say Mkulima, despite Mkulima being a rich farmer, he's very humble. What does that talk about the person? He's down to earth. Now, he doesn't brag. But if the person is not humble, then you say that person is very proud. Then you have depart. If you don't depart, you arrive. So depart is when you kick off or when you set off for a journey. Arrival time is when you set in. Then you have cruel. If someone is not cruel, the person is kind. Some people are cruel. If someone is not cruel, then the person is what? The person is kind. Who are cruel people? Those people who don't have mercy on anyone. Like you find some people anywhere they pass, people cry. But if a person has a good heart, then we say that person is kind. You can find in an exam they say it is dangerous to cross the bridge at night. It is dangerous to cross the bridge at night. And then they have underlined the word dangerous. Then they want to give you the opposite of the word dangerous. You say the opposite of the word dangerous is what? The opposite of the word dangerous is safe. The opposite of the word dangerous is what? Safe. And this dangerous can mean the same as risky. Like it is risky to cross the bridge at night. It is dangerous to cross the bridge at night. And then they want you to give the opposite. Then you go in for safe. Enemy, which means the same as foe. That means enemy and foe are what? Are synonyms. If we say they are synonyms, we mean they are words that mean the same. So the opposite of the word enemy, we can say Amina is an enemy to what? To lazy people. Or you can say Amina is a foe to lazy people. If you are not an enemy or if you are not a foe, then the opposite of the word enemy or foe is going to be a friend. It means you are a friend. You are in good terms. You get along. But if you don't get along with someone, then you say you are enemies or you are foes. Like this is, most learners can come up with the opposites of this word. If we say it is scarce, it is plenty. I talked of the other day when someone is going to say we often go to school, and then they want you to give the opposite. You say scarce, you can say barely, or you can say hardly. If they say they never come to school, which means 0%, 0%, and then they want you to give the opposite, you are going to say always, always. If they give you sometimes and they want you to give the synonym, you say occasional, occasionally. Now, most learners can come up with opposites of words, like brave, bravery. Somebody is lazy, the other person is hardworking. It is expensive or dear, the person can come up with the opposite and say it is cheap, it is cheap. So it is common, it is rare. So most learners can come up with those opposites. But when they are supposed to give opposites of words using prefixes, most learners mess up. Like they don't know which prefix to use with a certain word, So in our lesson today, I'm going to break down some examples of some prefixes and how they can be used to come up with the opposite of certain words. You realize that a word can have an opposite without a prefix, and it can also have an opposite with a prefix. Now, you have forming antonyms using prefixes. What is a prefix? A prefix is a group of letters added before a word to change its meaning. A prefix is a group of letters that is added before a word and it changes its meaning. For example, examples of prefixes. So you can have examples of prefixes. We have an, examples of prefixes. We have an, we have this, we have in, we have il. We call them what? We are calling them prefixes. A group of letters that are put before a word, and once they are put before that word, they change its meaning. Now, I've come up with prefixes with prefix this and the words that form its opposite. Example, someone is honest. If the person is not honest, we say they are dishonest. If someone says you are honest, what does that mean? Like if you are honest, you are able to say the truth and only the truth. Like you are an open book. If I say you are an open book, it is either right or left. You don't have any in between. You call it as it is. You don't sugarcoat. Now we say honesty. If somebody is not honest, then we say that person is dishonest. Now we can say she was honest. Honesty is a virtue that most people do not have. If honesty is, you've been given the word as honesty, or the underlined word in the question is honesty, then they want you to give the opposite of the word honesty, then you are going to say it is dishonest. You've come up with the opposite of the word honest by use of the prefix this. Now once you add this to honest, it changes its meaning. I say a prefix, a group of letters or words that is added before a word, change its meaning. So honesty, if you are not honesty, you are dishonest. We have advantage. The advantage of having a house garden is that you get everything fresh, all your vegetables fresh. If you don't have an advantage, then you have disadvantage. Advantageous and then disadvantageous. You give the opposite. I said you give the opposite of a word depending on the part of speech underlined. So I say it is advantageous to have an orchard. If they say advantageous, then it is disadvantageous. But if they say the advantage of having an orchard, then the opposite becomes the disadvantage of having an orchard. You are going to give the opposite of this word depending on the part of speech. Satisfy. If you are not satisfied, then you are dissatisfied. Now, I was satisfied with whatever she said. Like whatever she said was reasonable, satisfying, satisfactory. But if you are not satisfied, or whatever you say is so we have advantage if it's satisfied. If you are not satisfied with something, you say you are dissatisfied. And then dissatisfied is double S. Just remember that. Because most learners are going to give a single S, dissatisfied. Double S. If you don't like something, you dislike. If you don't agree to, or you agree with. You agree with a person, but you agree to something or an opinion or an idea. This is what I mean. You can say, I agree. I agree to your idea. I agree to your what? I agree to your idea. But I'm going to say, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like these are agree takes two prepositions. It takes preposition to and it takes preposition with. It takes preposition with. So you agree with a person or somebody. You say you agree with a person or somebody. But you are going to agree to an idea, an opinion, or you are going to agree to something. You are going to agree to something. This one comes in the exam. You agree to an idea, you agree to something, you agree to an opinion, but you are going to agree with somebody or a person. You can say, I agree with you, but I don't agree to your idea. You can say, I agree to your idea, but I don't agree with you. Like you are not on a personal level, but whatever the person said is correct. Whatever the person said is what? Is correct. So you agree with or you agree to. If you don't agree, you disagree to, or you disagree with. And then we have prefix an. You have prefix an. Examples, you have happy. If you're not happy, you're unhappy. But the opposite of the word happy is also sad. The opposite of the word happy is also sad. Now, I said some words are going to have opposites by use of prefixes. But they also have opposites which are not prefixes, So you have happy. If you're not happy, you're sad. Or you can say if you're not happy, you are unhappy. You can come up with the opposite by using prefix a, prefix an. If you are not healthy, then you are unhealthy. It is healthy to cover your nose using a mask. It is unhealthy not to cover your nose using a mask. Now, it is healthy to eat vegetables. It is unhealthy not to eat vegetables. So it is healthy. If somebody gives you healthy, the one that the opposite, you come up with unhealthy by use of prefix a, an. And remember, once you add the prefix an, you change the meaning of the word. If it is not true, it is untrue. If it is not true, it is what? It is untrue. If you are not skilled, you are unskilled. Factories need both skilled and unskilled labor. So you have skilled. If somebody wants the opposite of the word skilled, then you are going to have unskilled as the opposite using prefix what? Using prefix an. You have conscious. If you are not conscious, you are unconscious. You are unconscious. You are grateful. And if you are not grateful, you are ungrateful. And many people are ungrateful. For anything small, something that someone does to you, always be grateful. It doesn't matter how little. But those people who complain about everything will never appreciate anything that is given to them. We call them ungrateful people. So you are either grateful or you are not grateful. And once you are not grateful, we call you ungrateful. By use of prefix a, by use of prefix an. It is common. If it is not common, it is what? Uncommon. So it is common. That most people eat what? Eat rice. It is uncommon for most people to eat rice. So if it is not common, it is uncommon. If it's not common, it is what? It is uncommon. And then you have prefix in, capable. If you're not capable, you are incapable. Now, complete. If it's not complete, if your work is not complete, then it is incomplete. Make sure you collect your completed work. If you didn't complete your work, then your work is incomplete. You are either correct or you are incorrect. You are visible or you are invisible. You are either visible or you are invisible. So I've used prefix in to come up with the antonyms or opposites of the words that I've given. I say some words can have opposites by use of prefixes, but they can also have other opposites. Like you can come in an exam, they give you the synonym of the antonym. Like for example, someone can give you, let's say for example here, I said someone can give you dangerous. No. Let me say someone can give you safe. And we all know the opposite of the word safe is dangerous. But instead of giving you dangerous, they give you risky. They give you risky. Now, it is the opposite. It is the synonym of the opposite of the opposite. You should know that. Like this word, for example, you have friend, and then the opposite of the word friend is enemy. Most of us know that, right? But then maybe you don't know the synonym of the word enemy is foe. You should also know that. Like sometimes they can ask you, for example, the answers in your answers. You don't have enemy, but in your answers you have what? You have foe. So the opposite of the word friend can be enemy or can be foe, which means they can give you the synonym of the antony, the synonym of the antony. So you make sure you go through your note, you make short notes, and then I'll leave questions. Make sure you attempt. Have a good day.